How do we maximize human prosperity? By mitigating harmful effects amongst a world of bad choices. Let's go to Tucker last night. He had a great point last night about how the response to this, the public response, stay off the streets. Matter of fact, if you don't stay off the streets, the government wants people snitching on you now. No, I'm not kidding. You'll see the end of this cut by the Los Angeles mayor embedded in the Tucker clip, where the Los Angeles mayor is encouraging people, it's the end of it, encouraging people to call the cops and rat people out if they're on the street. I'm not joking. And Tucker brings up this point about how, ladies and gentlemen, bonds are being broken here, sacred bonds that I'm not sure we can ever rebuild. I mean, I'm a conservative, largely a libertarian when it comes to economic and government issues. So you'd say, well, clearly you don't trust the government. I don't trust anybody, so it's not a relevant question. But I don't mistrust the government. I don't. I'm wary. I like the fact that we have oversight. I like the fact that we have the ability, even with police departments and fire departments, and even with our military, to engage in oversight. But I do trust them in some respect. I mean, when I get pulled over by a police officer, I don't automatically assume like, gosh, he's here to like take my money or something. I mean, in some countries, ladies and gentlemen, that happens. You got to be worried about the cops. Not here. So it's not an accurate statement. I do trust the government to some respect with proper oversight. But ladies and gentlemen, bonds are being broken altogether when you can't even go out and walk your dog without worrying about the mayor of Los Angeles encouraging your neighbors to call the cops on you. The effects of this are going to be long-lasting. I want you to listen to a very, very well-worded minute by Tucker Carlson on exactly this topic and the draconian response to a threat we haven't even fully understood yet. Check this out.
At coronavirus.lacity.org/business violation. You know the old expression about snitches? Well, in this case, snitches get rewards. We want to thank you for turning folks in and making sure we are all safe.
So you just saw the mayor of our second biggest city offering to pay citizens to snitch on their neighbors for, among other things, daring to go to work. Working is one activity we've decided should not be allowed. Jogging, fishing, golf, fine. Being employed, a massive threat to public health. We've decided that offices are somehow more dangerous than supermarkets, far more dangerous, though no one has to date bothered to explain how.
Snitches have gone from stitches to riches. That sucks.
Joe knows the saying. You didn't even need to be coached on that one. That is this. If you grew up in the city like I did, Joe knows the hard school of hard knocks too. The saying he's the LA mayor is grossly using, which is totally inappropriate for that, is snitches get stitches, meaning we beat the hell out of them when they rat on you to the cops. That's what he's trying to say. But he says, oh, snitches get rewards in this case. Ladies and gentlemen, we're instituting a surveillance state now. Have you thought about, but Dan, we can't have people violating the curfew. Oh, okay. So you want a government surveillance state instituted where neighbors are literally calling the police to fine people for going out to walking their dogs? You think that's an appropriate trade-off? I'm just checking. Now, again, if your response to that is, well, you just want people to die, I'm not the right host for you because that's not what I'm saying. You're mischaracterizing it, and you're engaging in a simple straw man argument. That is not what I'm saying. Obviously, right now, in the middle of an outbreak of this virus, which is deadly for a lot of people, there are going to have to be some control measures. Recommending that we all go and visit our grandparents in a nursing home while walking around in a public while a pandemic is raging is probably a pretty stupid idea and a reasonable measure that people will understand and won't fracture the bond of government because reasonable people will say that's a reasonable measure. Calling the cops on your 70-year-old neighbor who's walking Fido outside and having the government give them a ticket because they're walking Fido while they've encountered no one in public is kind of stupid, no? Strikes you maybe as a little bit, tad bit unreasonable? As these unreasonable measures start to pile up, that government bond is being fractured. And Tucker brings up a very interesting point here, which I'll cover in this next clip from the same monologue. It's about 8 minutes long, but I had to cut it because I don't have the time. He brings up another point. Has government ever explained to us how this whole shutdown thing is working, Joe, given the fact that we haven't shut down the grocery stores? We can't shut down them. We have to eat. I'm not suggesting we should. Let me be crystal clear. Unlike that dope at the White House press briefing. Yeah, why are we not shutting down the grocery store? Because we got to eat? Gee, I don't know. Didn't think of that one. Whole calorie thing, kilocals, didn't get that. But has anyone explained to us the benefit of shutting the economy down while people are still going to the one place, Joe, everybody in a neighborhood goes? And as Paula brought up to me this morning, we touch stuff, we handle stuff, there's nice thin aisles. Has anybody explained this? So just to be clear, you own a dry cleaning business where you can put gloves on, put a mask on, and ask that your clients come in, drop their stuff, and you'll hand them a receipt. That's too dangerous. Shut that dry cleaner down. He can't earn any money and people can't get their clothes dry cleaned because it's too dangerous. But this same guy can go to a grocery store and handle the tomatoes and the oranges that the customer was just handling 2 minutes before as he went to the same grocery store. I'm confused here. No, Dan, that's different. That's different. We have to eat. No, Dan, that's not different. Because grocery stores aren't free. Because if you don't work, you don't eat. There isn't any difference. We're not talking about good answers here. Shut down or not, or you want people to die. That's a straw man argument. That's fake. That's a simpleton's argument. We're not talking about good versus bad. We're talking about bad versus worse. We live in a world of bad, harmful options. The question we make is, the question we ask and we try to answer is, how do we maximize human prosperity by mitigating harmful effects amongst a world of bad choices? What do you mean, Dan? Bad choices? Ladies and gentlemen, we drill into the earth all the time. Harmful to the earth. We can get oil out of it. Oh my gosh, we can't do that. That's terrible. We're drilling into the... What would you want mass starvation instead? Mass starvation, drilling into the earth. I'll take drilling into the earth, Alex, for 100. Bad choices, right? There's nothing good about drilling into the earth. Nothing. Doesn't help the planet out. But if we don't drill into the earth for energy, we all starve to death and die.
You just heard the Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud and follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.